Hello, folks! Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Minecraft Resonant Rise. I'm Kieran Dave. You probably already know that if you're watching. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Last time I goofed around a whole bunch and basically slacked off, and I kind of don't want to do that again this episode. I want to get down to this room. I've been redoing a little bit. I had some stuff you saw. It just wasn't working for me, so I got to redo it. So what I started by doing is laying out a bunch of, let's see, conveyor belts here, a bunch of item collectors, and a bunch of deep storage units. And if you peek underneath here, you will see that I have prioritized ME storage buses down there. They're prioritized, so they'll always take things first. So what I'd like to do is take the outputs from my farm and go ahead and start reusing them. Now, what that means basically is that I want all the farm outputs to come out here, get into a system, and basically get sorted really fast. So let's take a look at what it would take to do that. So we go like this, this, I think, and then, well, no, let's... So basically, in case you forgot, my farm, which is daytime, so it should be safe to go up here. Oh, by the way, I fixed my door. I should show how I did that, because I did it a different way than I did before. Well, we installed OpenCC sensors, so I'm doing it with a different computer graph primitive. All right, here we go. As you can see, I've got a farm. It's making berries. It's making all this stuff. And all that stuff is being pumped out with the label planter goods. So what I'd like to do is push that all away. Oh, and in case you didn't notice, I have 3 of these now. That actually powers everything nicely. 2 just wasn't quite cutting it, and things would slow down. So I've also been mining a ton. You can see that my poor Darkcraft armor is just about toast. This armor is super cool, and it has some amazing properties, and it makes you into kind of a awesome fighter. But it doesn't have great durability, especially compared to my modular power suit, which has infinite durability. Really, though, the problem is I fight witches, and witches just destroy armor. Okay, so let's see if we can get started with the basics here. So what we'd like to do is have a teleposer whose input is red, or whose input is red, and who takes planter goods. And right, and so he'll have that priority should be fine. So now the output should be light blue. Yeah, light blue should be, well, input red, output light blue. And then we'll put an item router up here. So this is how it's going to start. So these item routers, I think I've mentioned them before. They're super cool. They allow you to do all sorts of amazing stuff. For now, what we want to do is go grab... what we'd like to do is go grab some, I guess, saplings. And make sure that those get routed, because we don't really need to keep the saplings around for any reason. I already have a ton in AE. I just don't need some saplings. So let's get the rubber sapling. You can see I've got a ton of them. And the spruce sapling. I've got a ton of those too. Just more than I need. A lot of planks. Those are in a DSU. A lot of spruce wood. Those are actually not, and they should be. All right. So if we right click on this, we'd like to have that one go off to the yellow, I think. Yeah, I think that'd be great. So let's have that go there and have that go there. So now all of the existing output will go that way. So let's use a little bit more of this pretty blue block. And we'll use a little bit more conveyor. And let's see, I need I'm in my Darkcraft armor, so I need a wing sword to do this. These builds are a little tricky with no roof. I don't really want to break through my roof, because if I do, then I will have to deal with the endless flood of witches, and I really don't feel like doing that right now. So let's go ahead and make a little bit of room here. I don't have inventory tweaks installed. Shame on me, I suppose, but you know, whatever. Let's just toss some of the stuff in my bag. So I hope that folks actually seem to be kind of positive about my last episode. I don't really know why, because to me it's not one of my stronger ones. But also, I'd like to try and make my series less didactic. Is that the word? Yeah. It should be. I love it if people look at me and they're like, "Oh yeah, Dave, cool. You taught me how to do that. That's fantastic." But I'd like it to be more entertaining too. I mean, there's only so much that you can do. There we go. Fly in for a little while, anyways. Let's see. So these things get laid out automatically like that. And what are we going to do here? I'd like to make it more entertaining, right? That would be great. Okay, so let's see. What we need to do next is get them into an item to the bioreactor. For that, we may need another collector. Let's put the bioreactor right. Oh boy, I see stuff. I see stuff flying through. It fell out. Oh, we'd like to make sure. Let's just use a little bit of this black granite. We want to wall off the blue. Just make sure it doesn't fall out. And actually everything else should be good. Doesn't have anywhere else to go but yellow or red. For now. In a little bit, we'll also take a processing line off this way for the wood. But for now, we can just send it over that way. We'll clean out the DSUs later. And let's see. So let's go ahead and put the bioreactor here. And I think I'm going to need another item collector for this to work right. So let's go ahead and grab an... Let's see if we can have an item collector. No, we don't have any. So let's go ahead and make one real quick. People have been asking me, why don't you just use applied energistics? And I can tell you that it's like 99 problems, but applied energistics isn't one. I need to get a machine frame. It's just that, well, for one, I don't want to. And for two, it's not that great at this kind of build. There are things I want to do that applied energistics is not good at representing. Now, I could just not do those things, I suppose. That's what's been recommended to me. But I sort of feel like that's a cop-out, right? It's like, well, okay, I mean, I guess. But sure. Okay, so now all the saplings will go over here. You can see we've already got a great supply of fluid going through, so then we can just tap that right there, and then give that a donk with a wrench. And actually, we don't even need to do that. It will auto-eject. Let's see here. I think, anyways. Yeah, it'll auto-eject. So there we go. And this guy is just absolutely full of biofuel. We got tons of power. We have just power for days for this factory, and that's good because we're going to be using it. All right, so with saplings production and management sorted, next what we'd like to do is handle the wood. And everything else, oh, let's see, look at, I love it. So that means it's probably, yeah, in is up, right. So there we go. Wait. Oh, no. No, no. No, we don't want that at all. Okay. As you can see, we're getting sugarcane stored in there. It'll be fantastic because we can just have millions of sugarcane. They'll just keep coming. Have we already sorted other things in here? Nope. 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 So one thing that's cool about these item collectors is they have insertion pipe semantics. What that means, for gentle, what is it? What that means, dear reader, is that there's no way that this will fail in the event of like overflow. It won't ever drop to the world. It'll either insert from the top or move on. And in fact, what we could do to make sure that this never causes us any trouble at all is we can go like this. Put one of these here, and then I think we have in our pack of digging and tools. No, we'll have to go grab it. If we just put a trash can from extra utilities there, we will have basically everything in the world will be perfect for us. So let's go trash. There we go. We have one of those sitting around. Oh, I love it. So I don't have too many consistent watchers, but I would love for you guys to tell me what sort of things you'd like me to do next. I'm going to be setting up a power station in the nether to do some coring in the nether, and I'm also going to set up a power station and a coring station at that mining age, and they're both going to be on site and then teleport stuff home. I'm actually going to be using hydrogen power for the nether side, which I think will be fun because it's going to use minecarts. So that should be, I think, great. Anyways, that will run all the way to the end. We don't need a final, as you can see, we won't need a final conveyor belt. We just want to suck everything in. That will make sure that this line never overflows to the world. And we can actually extend it. We could just break this, move everything out, move it all around. But 8 DSUs should be enough for now. So what do we want to do next? What we'd like to do is we'd like to handle our wood intake. How can we do that effectively? What would we like to do with it? Well, for the spruce wood, it's pretty easy. We'd like to take all the spruce wood that comes in, and we'd like to have that immediately go back into... we'd like to have the spruce wood just immediately get planked and sent back out. So let's see. What we'd like to do, we're going to need to make some more item routers, I think. We're just going to have to use them as our way of selecting things we want to pull off the conveyors. No problem, though, because they're pretty cheap, and I'm happy with that. Okay, router. Okay, so we should have another machine frame lying around. I think we'll need to make some of these. Let's just make a full stack of them. Well, we'll make 29 of them because we're out of stone. That should be enough, though, for now. And I think we may be out of this. Let's just make a full stack of this. Looks like we can't quite. That's okay, though. We'll make more soon. Oh, we'd also like to have rubber go out that line, too, huh? So let's make another 8 of these. Oh, we'll need some chests. Fortunately, all of our spruce woods... Yes. So this is oak. Well, we should use spruce. Pull this out. And go ahead and toss all those in. And let's make a stack. All right, we have chests for days. So let's make another 8 of these. And let's just start lining them up. So right here, we'll drop things into our... Well, you know, we don't have to do that. Check this out. This will be cool. We'll put one right there. Okay. And we'll put blue stone on the yellow line. This will be cool. Check this out. Although powering it will be challenging. Well, what we'd like to make sure is that we never go backwards. I think that's fine, though. How do we want to do this? Because the only problem is we got to get the power from over here to over there, right? So if we run a bay of machines right here, it might actually look really cool if we were to do that. Like, I mean, not pretty, but cool, right? All right, so let's see what we can do here. I'm kind of using this pick because it's actually a little bit faster than pretty much everything I got at this point, and it self-heals, doesn't use any power. It's basically amazing. These Tinker's Construct tools, and we have a new drop of Tinker's Construct in the mod pack that has stuff that I don't even know what it is, right? Like broadswords and I don't know, who even knows, right? It's that and Dio keeps adding a lot of stuff, and Natura added bows that don't seem really any better than the existing bows, but you know they're there and they're cool. Let's go like this. And so we'd like to have a sawmill right there. Yeah, I think we can do that. I think this would be fun, actually. This should be interesting, because then we can put the other stuff right there. So let's run the power line. Actually change the way this is run. Oh, look. Aluminum. Let's change the way this is run right here. And let's start dropping a power line right here. Right. Perfect. So now we have the power line there. Let's just go ahead and seal this up so I can walk around without fear. And right. Okay. So what we'd like here in the first point is we'd like it to drop down to a sawmill. I think I'm carrying one. Oh, hello, wheat. Excellent, wheat. You go over there. Are you guys going to let the wheat in? Huh. Oh, look. Is it really all full already? There's no place to put the wheat? Interesting. How did 64 chests get in here? Oh, I know why. Because of that high priority. This is the problem with AE. It's just like impossible to control. Okay, so cotton should be there. Let's go ahead and stash this inappropriate stuff. Let's go ahead and stash this inappropriate stuff for now. Stone. We'll put it all back in later. But obviously, what you can see what happened was I made some stuff, and when AE reinserted, it put it into this high priority location. But that shaking and cracking you hear in the background is my dog Archer. Hi, Archer. Occasionally, he likes to walk in, you know, check out what's up. He's a good guy. We'll basically never need any rubber wood, so we can keep that. All right. So, and there's go the berries. That's perfect because we want a ton of berries. Right. You know, we may actually need more than this, huh? I hope we don't. All right. Well, I'm going to go grab a couple other things and then we'll continue. All right. So off camera really quick, I made a few more TSUs and I reset the system. I just got to lay down the conveyors, of course. Whoa. Fortunately, the Darkcraft stuff lets me outrun the conveyors. But that should be enough for everything coming out of the farm for now. And of course, I've got prioritized ME storage buses, which is quite costly. My quartz stores are hurting, but we'll get to that soon. We'll get to that real soon. What we really want to do now is just get our farm processing in hand as compactly as possible, because I want to build a couple other things in this room. Since we have this nice power supply here, it would be a shame to waste it. All right. And also, we have a really big ME drop in here. Would be a shame to waste it. So the first thing I did was I put this sawmill here is ready, and it's going to take all the spruce wood it gets and plank it. We'd have no plans to do anything but keep it, or keep it as planks. And then I thought about how I'm going to get it out there. I'm going to show you a cool trick. This is a little bit tricky, but first of all, TE machines, as you can see, will spit out automatically into pipes. So let's go ahead and do that. So the other thing that's cool is that if you take a look, it connected to the conveyor. It wouldn't matter if it didn't, but it did, so it'll never drop it. But here we have a little system where we'll have an output line here for all the TE machines that will not allow things to be injected into them. And this golden conductive pipe will be our output line from all the machines. So as you saw, I tossed out some things. Let me toss another piece here, and I'll show you exactly what happens. It goes, spits into the pipe, and immediately the sawdust and that stuff gets deposited. We will be storing the sawdust temporarily, I think. We will make sure to kill that before we go forward, because I would like to just have it all converted into charcoal. And you'll see that we'll have a charcoal DSU. I'm not sure how we'll handle that just yet. For now, let's just not worry about it and let's finish up. So the next thing is we need to take care of the jungle wood. We should be able to find a DSU that's caught some of that at this point in the game. That's a sawdust. Spruce, got quite a few of those lining up. The raw rubber, which we'll get to soon. Wheat, fantastic. The berries, which we want more of course. And gosh, do we really not have any jungle wood? Did it get pulled? Well, I have some in my hands, so that's fine. What we'd like to do is have the jungle wood drop in the black line, which will just drop on the ground for now. And we'll use black granite to make sure that the yellow and red lines don't get used. Yellow and red, and green. We don't want it to go backwards. And then unmapped things that we don't have a route for, will just be pushed forward. Okay, I think what we could do next for this is make a powered furnace. We might even have one on hand. If not, nope. So let's get a powered furnace. Should be easy to make. First, we need a machine frame for it, obviously. So let's go ahead and make sure that we have one of those. Yes, let's just have another one of those on stock. It will go into one of our DSUs, I'm sure, which we don't need, but we'll pull it out in just a sec. Powered. There we go. Actually, I think I have everything on hand for this. Almost. Let's see. Do we have some bricks? We do. Got 2 of those in the system. Exactly what we need. And then we need one of these, which we can make exactly one of. Toss it in the system. And then, of course, powered furnace. Powered furnace, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll just hold on to this extra sawmill for now. I made one thinking I might want to use it, but I sort of decided against it. So what we'd like to do is just put this right here. And set it up like so. The sides, we just make sure that every single side, except for the orange in the background, every other side with a top is empty. Toss in another piece of gold conductive pipe. Am I out? Oh, there. Wait, it's in my... it's in bar 1! Haha! Okay, and yeah. So now if I... Whoa. Spit that out on the ground. Oh, gonna need an iron pipe, ain't I? Oh, Buildcraft. Well, that's okay. I can make those real fast. let's just leave that going there. This system will jam up, but of course if I toss in a piece of rubber wood, it'll cook, won't it? Oh, I can't cook this into charcoal, can I? Oh, wait, maybe I can. Maybe I can. It would help if I powered it. Yeah. Everybody watching at home's like, come on, Dave. There we go. Okay, I will make a few iron pipes in a sec, but let's just keep going. Oh, and look, you can see another sapling going in there, slowly filling up this system. It will slowly make its biofuel. And I don't really care about efficiency because, as you can see, we've been running it for a while. It's making great stuff. And, there it goes. It's so great. So good. I'm pleased by that outcome. Okay, but we won't really be keeping much in the way of raw rubber around. We'll probably just grab a stack and, I don't know, we'll just keep it. We should be doing okay overall. The real problem is we got those 3 berries mucking everything up. Anyways, we may even get rid of the sawdust just to free up a type. It'd be easy to just put a, trash can right there, output directly down into it. Trash cans are cheap. All right, so that will take care of our issue as soon as we wire it up of the... Yes, that will take care of what we need to do with that. So what we'd like to do next, I think, is have 2 item routers for rubber. So I want to keep a little bit of rubber on hand, a little bit of rubber. But, actually, I have a good idea for that. Let's use AE a little bit in the system. We don't have to do this entirely without AE. AE would give us, all I like to do is just keep, maybe 12 stacks, 10 stacks of rubber, of sticky rubber around because it's an ingredient for sticky pistons. It's a lot easier for me to get than slime balls. But naturally, of course, we'd like to just make most things into plastic and plastic sheets at any point in time, and we can do that pretty easily. So let's just let the rubber go over there, and we'll build the AE system in a little bit. So what else do we have to care about coming out of the system? Well, probably then what we should do is build our iron pipes, which I will do off camera. I'm sure you've seen it before. And I will just wire this stuff up because this is nice and compact so far, right? And then we'll probably put a trash can right there because we don't really need it for anything else. And then we'll use AE for the remainder of the thing. I have some stuff on hand that would be useful for it. So I'll be right back once I've made a couple more ingredients, and then we'll get started on the next part of the build, which is processing all the plastic, which would be great to do. And then, I hope, we will... I think what we'll do then is we will, well, we'll see how this works out, because what we really want to do is just keep some rubber around. But most of the stuff we want to make into raw plastic, and we want to make it into plastic sheets. So that should be fun. I'll be right back once I've made some pipes. All right, so I have an idea. Gonna keep this simple, but gonna keep it compact. So what we'd like to do is I wired this up, and now all the outputs are going in the right direction. Right? Super cool, super fun. And I wanted to grab one of, well, we can do that in a second. What we'd like to do is basically process some, but not all, of our rubber. And actually, if I can grab a few, I think there's some in this little Soren chest over here. No, maybe not. I'm sure that there's a DSU with them. What I just got to do is grab some raw rubber. And it turns out that Minefactory Reloaded can do proportional routing, which is one of the reasons I chose it for this task. And then I was kind of being silly. I don't know. We'll see. I'll show you here. So first we need to output it to the system. We can do that by adding it there. And that's perfect. We can then put it one right here. Right? And what we can do is tell this one, reject unmapped. Yes, we should only have things there. So that way it won't output on default routes. And what we'd like to do is just say, so if we see a raw rubber come through, we'd like to pass the vast majority of them onwards. So let's say which one direction, black is processing or keep, and blue is onwards. So let's say out of every 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, we'll only keep 1, and that will go to the black line, right? Then all we have to do is put a gold pipe there, and it won't input into the machine, Although we probably actually want to use an iron pipe here, just for safety's sake, because there will be other machines nearby. And this can even be convenient because we can do other stuff with it too. All right, and then we'll set this to the valid route. There we go. Now, we'll only keep 10% of the raw rubber that we have, right? Only 10%. And that's fine. That's fine. It's great even. Next, let's get another one of these. Well, actually, we don't even need to do that. Check this out. So we'll just, everything that comes in will be passed on to a raw furnace. So let's grab one of our collectors and put that there, because this is the end of the line for raw rubber, right? Now, every raw rubber that comes through here will be smelted. We want to input from the top, and we want to keep the line going to the right. So what comes out of this will be rubber bars. Now, we can toss a piece of raw rubber in there to get an example of a rubber bar. Da-da-da. Now, of course, we have to power it. And as you can see, we got more than enough power to drive this entire system. Okay. Now, again, the vast majority of our rubber bars we have very little interest in. So what we're going to do is run a pipe here. And we're going to make sure you have the rubber bar, use an item router here, tell it to reject unmapped. Right? So now only 1 out of every 10 will go forward. So let's say we want to say blue. There we go. So now the vast majority of our rubber will go out that way. Then, so that raw rubber will come in here. We'll set this up to input from the blue side. Output. You know what? We could actually output to the top, couldn't we? That would make things marginally easier. So let's output to the top in this case. We won't output to the right. And we'll input from this side. So now, if we just run power to this, like so, well now, toss in the rubber bar, and we will get raw plastic. So, again, the vast majority of the raw plastic we don't want to keep, but we want to turn to plastic sheets. And in fact, you know what? You know what? I've changed my mind. I don't really want to keep... I don't make conveyors that often, and when I do, I can just grab the raw rubber and smelt it up by hand. So we don't really need to do this step. Let's cut down the resource usage. And let's just say that we'll keep some raw rubber on hand. We're keeping a basically infinite sum, and we can cook it up really fast. So let's say that all the raw rubber that gets processed here will immediately be cooked up. Let's just keep it simple. Because, you know, you can fret about every possible resource in the world, but you really just, you don't need to. Okay. Right. Let me... Okay. So, input from the left, output to the right. And we will keep a small sum of this, but not most of it. So we have our raw plastic here. And we will reject unmapped. And I think, yeah, I think this is good. Let's actually just make it slightly more compact. Grab that. So now we'll configure this to eject up. And this will just save us a little bit of conduit in this case. Right, so we've got the reject unmapped, we've got the raw plastic here. It will come in, and we'd like we'd like most of that to be ejected out. So let's we want one on that, and then we'll have the blue line contain most of it. Okay, seems good to me. And then we can just toss a gold pipe and then an iron pipe. Here they are. Right here and here. And then fix that up so that there is a way for it to leave. And of course we want to fix this up so that there is a way for it to leave. And ta-da! I think that that will set it up so that we always have that part of it handled. And then all we have to do is put a collector here. Now we've got this raw plastic, and there's one final step we need to do. If you want to make raw plastic into plastic sheets, which is the last output we really care about, you look at the recipe, and this takes 1, 2, 3, 4 raw plastic in a grid pattern and turns it into plastic sheets. So I thought I'd use something I really haven't used before. Maybe you saw it in my hello little charcoals, hee hello little raw rubbers. Why are you going out that way? Did we not set you up properly over here? Raw rubber on the blue line. Oh, probably a little bit of it is being cooked. Well, we'll test it all in just a sec. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. I'm commanding you not to sweat it. This is a cyclic assembler. This is another cool thermal expansion machine, and it will let us actually build. It will actually let us build the things that we need here. So what we need to do is go grab a sheet of paper. Right? Paper. I think we have a little bit of this on hand. I think we just need a sheet of paper. We tell it the recipe, and then ta-da, we're done. We can have it output, and we will have it basically do exactly what all the other things have been doing. So it will consume stuff from the up, output to the back, and be insensate on any other level. There we go. And we will, of course, we can use a golden transport pipe as this is the end of the line. Right? And finally, we'll give it a little bit of power in just a sec. Let's go ahead and make our blueprint here. So I think we put this here, or I think we put it here. I'll figure it out in a sec. I've never used it before. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. How do I get? Do I have to make a schematic? Because there was a while where it was just paper. Ah, schematic. I need a little bit of blue dye. Okay, well that's no problem. Of course couldn't be just paper. What would that? That would lead to chaos, I'm pretty sure. That would lead to absolute chaos. All right, so let's go ahead and make one of these. Schematic, blank. Okay. I'm digging how compact this is. I hope that you guys are too. I'm happy about this. Toss that in there. Let's tell it what to do with the things. All right, and then check. So this should now be raw plastic. Hold shift for more info. 4 dust plastic to 4 plastic sheets. All right, and then if we give it power, we should find everything in order. And let's just make sure that things are working right. Let's just check right here. So we can stand right there. And so when things come in to the top one, we want the raw rubber ejected out the blue. And it will then be carted along the blue line. And carted along the blue line. And some of the raw rubber will be then taken on the blue line. Some of it will be just dumped down and kept. Whoop. And looks like a lot of it went down the black line there. I wonder if that's a bug. So the item collector here, it'll be pushed to the blue line most of the time. The item collector here will eject it into the powered furnace. Will it? Actually, it may not. This may be part of the problem. So let's go ahead and break this. because it won't know which inventory to take. So it has its own order. Come on, item collector, thank you. So let's use another item router. And then we'll say everything but black is basalt, so it can't get confused. There we go. And we'll also, well, we won't reject on that, of course not. All right, and I'm still seeing raw rubber come back down this path, which confuses me a little bit. What if we were to just turn that line off for a sec? And yeah, so I'm going to just debug this for a little bit and make sure it works. But if I were to get some raw rubber and smelt it up, so for example, if I were to go over here, well, I will find you. I have a very special set of skills for finding raw rubber. And I will find you. There we are. Pull that out. Pull that out as well. And let's put it in here. This is the entry to the I think, right? Yeah, everything terminates here. Oh look, it's getting raw rubber. And it passes it along to make plastic. And hopefully it'll eject it up. This will eject. Looks like, is it the case that all of it is going out? I wonder if item routers are broken right now. If so, that's pretty disappointing. Maybe they're working in the reverse fashion that I expected. What happens if we ask for a balanced flow? Because we could toss some raw rubber in here. Looks like all of it is going out the back. All right, well, I'm going to debug this for a minute, and if there's a bug, then we will re-architect this real quick. We can just replace those things with pipes, and it will work great. And that's really the only place where we really want to have, well, there are a couple places we really love to have 50-50 splits that are or not quite 50-50, but we can deal with 50-50 split. So I'll be right back after I've debugged this. All right, so I've made a few adjustments, as you can see, just putting the finishing touches there. So I decided to just keep raw rubber and the finished plastic product. I can reproduce the other two, so why bother keeping them? This just means that I'll have lots of all the plastic I could possibly want on hand and all the raw rubber, which is really the most useful of the outputs. So as we can see, all sorts of outputs going through the system. I also decided to get rid of the sawdust. I'm making so much charcoal. I mean, let's see, where is it? It's around here. I think it's over here. It is really here somewhere. I've already got like a stack and a half of charcoal. I'm going to have more charcoal than I know what to do with. So that's all the fuel in the world. That's all I really care about. That's fantastic. Meanwhile, over here, we're filling up nice and fast. And we're super energy positive for this whole system, which is great because we'll be reusing this energy. And with that, I'd like to actually say this is done. This is now processing all my farm outputs. I will have to extend it when I make the farm bigger, but really all I have to do is just add more DSUs and extend and more item collectors and just extend the line around, and I can handle pretty much any farm output. It's only because we're doing some specialized processing here that we have these machines at all. And I think that's fantastic. I'm really happy with the result of this build. It's nice and clean. It never overflows. It has lots of storage. It uses multiple mods, and it kind of looks fun, right? And it looks a little weird, but it looks. I've never seen anything quite like it, suspended in the air like this. So I am going to call this an episode. On the next episode, I'm going to extend this room out further. I'm going to make a steel factory, and I'm probably going to be making some brick, cobble, and other types of factories too, with all this extra power that we've got here, because obviously we got more than we know what to do with. And so if you do like this, go ahead and leave a like, leave a subscription, you know, all those things that people do when they like things on YouTube. I'll keep going. We have, as of today, started getting permissions for the pack. A couple of requests are pending. The very first one to come in was Dartcraft. Thanks to Corjante for getting that all set up, or Corjante. I'm sorry, I'm American. I'm not supposed to know foreign things. But yeah, so thanks for joining me, folks. Watch the next episode. Should be coming out in a few days.